Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of NEC On the Run. Today we're talking men's basketball with the one and only Ron Ratner. Ron, we have a lot to get into, so let's give me your weekend takeaways.
Thanks, Kyle. As we've crossed the halfway point of the NEC schedule, for now at least, Wagner is the big dog in the conference. You can't underestimate how difficult it is to go out on that Western PA swing and come away with 2 wins, but Wagner did it, and they did it in impressive fashion. The Seahawks received contributions up and down the lineup, most notably from Ramon Saunders, the junior guard, now finding his groove as he works his way back from an injury that sidelined him all of last year. He had a career-high 30 points in Wagner's big win at St. Francis on Friday. And how about Blake Francis? His southpaw shot, a thing of beauty. He comes off the bench to hit 11 out of 16 from three-point range in the 2 wins. Francis, he doesn't complicate things. He finds the open spot on the floor and he just fires it up. And while Wagner averaged 84 points a game last week, it's really been their league-leading defense that's carried the Seahawks. Wagner has not allowed 70 points in a game in 2018, a span of 8 games. And there you have it. On the top of the standings, Wagner College at 8-2, 1 game ahead of Robert Morris. My second takeaway, Kyle, Mount Mayhem is alive in Emmitsburg. I witnessed it myself last Thursday on CBS Sports Network when Mount beat LIU in a great game. In 2 games at Knott Arena last week, over 5,200 fans were in attendance, and that team just feeds off the energy in the building. Mount is now 5-0 at home in NEC play, shooting over 49% from three-point range and hitting nearly 13 triples a game at Knott Arena. Last week, the Mount was 23 out of 41 from downtown in wins over the 2 Brooklyn schools. And of course, it was Junior Robinson leading the charge, hitting shots from all angles and distances, but he had plenty of help, especially from freshman Jonah Antonio. Antonio is just 15 three-pointers away from breaking the NEC freshman record. He already has 73 on the season. Robinson earned his league-leading 4th NEC Player of the Week, while Antonio collected his 2nd NEC Rookie of the Week honor. Mount is in good shape as we head into the second half of the season.
Ron, you're right. Mount is a hard place to play. That crowd gets going. Now let's shift to your game of the week from last week.
There were plenty to choose from, but my pick is LIU Central Connecticut, an overtime game on Saturday in Brooklyn. Looked like LIU had this one in hand. Central trailing by 18 points with under 15 minutes to play, but enter Tyler Cole. He scored 18 points in the second half, and the Blue Devils continued to chip away at the lead. Finally, when it looked like LIU was ready to ice it, Dion Butte came up big, tipping in this missed free throw at the buzzer to send the game to OT. In the extra session, Tyler Cole continued to excel. He scored all 7 of Central's points in overtime. But it was LIU's turn to come from behind. Trailing by 4, we had a pair of Raekwon Clark layups, but it was this Joel Hernandez 3 that gave LIU the lead for good and a 94-89 win in what was the game of the week in NEC Men's Hoops.
All right, Ron, let's keep it going. Give me your plays of the week.
How about this unlikely candidate for play of the week, Kyle? Final seconds, St. Francis, Sacred Heart. Red flash trailing, Jamal King with the ball in his hands as it usually is. He draws all the attention, but look at Scott Meredith smartly working his way from the baseline back to the wing, gets in shooting position, and King alertly finds him, and Scott Meredith drills it. They call him Money Meredith at St. Francis. And boy, did he deliver the goods in a big win for St. Francis on Sunday against Sacred Heart. But for my dunk of the week, we go back to Emmitsburg for the CBS Sports Network televised game between LIU and the Mount. You have to go Junior Robinson. I caught Junior Robinson in the warm-ups dunking for the fans who were already in attendance. But that wasn't good enough. We're on national TV, Junior says. I'm doing it in-game, and that's just what he did. All 5 feet 5 inches of him. The place went crazy. I was there. Junior Robinson with the dunk of the week in NEC basketball.
All right, fans, we've hit the halfway point. Ron, it's time for you to take your Twitter timeout.
For the Twitter timeout, we're going to shout out and NEC Hoops alum, Ben Malo-Meunier from St. Francis U. Terrific three-point shooter during his time in Loretto. He's still following, and he was watching when Scott Meredith hit that three, that game winner. You can see the tweet himself. Lots of emojis in this one, but Ben Malo-Meunier proud of Scott Meredith with that clutch gene hitting the game winner.
Okay, Ron, as we shift focus from last week to this week, give me your under-the-radar guy.
How about this one, Kyle? I really like it. Tanner Johnson from Bryant, a 6'5" guard out of the basketball hotbed, Lexington, Kentucky. He played just 8 games as a freshman, but now, coming on strong for the Bulldogs, he's a heat-check shooter off the bench. Boy, was he hot last week. He hit 9 threes in 2 games, including 6 in the first half of Saturday's game versus FDU. He's made 27 field goals this season. 25 of them have been from long distance. You can never have enough shooters in my book, so Tanner Johnson will be a big part of Bryant's future. And just think about it, their record, Kyle, is a bit deceiving. They've lost 5 NEC games by 6 points or less. We'll see if they can turn things around over the next month and make a run at an NEC tournament spot. And like I said, having Tanner Johnson will help.
All right, fans, you heard it. Keep an eye out for Tanner Johnson of Bryant, but now we're going to shift to the Star Watch. Ron, who are we looking out for?
My pick this week on the Star Watch is LIU senior guard Joel Hernandez. You know, Kyle, for a player who ranks 2nd in the league in scoring, I think Hernandez has flown somewhat under the radar this season after missing the 2016-17 campaign with an injury. He can pretty much do it all, and he does it night in and night out. Great consistency in his game. And then take a look what he did last week. He carried LIU for much of last Thursday's game at the Mount when he scored a career-high 29 points. And when you watch him play, a physically imposing 6'3", watch the way he attacks the rim. He's also added a reliable three-point shot to his arsenal this season. He's hitting at a 37% clip on the year. And his biggest three, as we mentioned earlier, came on Saturday with LIU trailing in overtime. He hit this shot from distance for the go-ahead bucket. Joel Hernandez, 19.3 points, 6.6 rebounds, nearly 3 assists on the year. He's having a big season for an LIU team right in the thick of the NEC playoff race.
All right, Ron, as we move on to our next segment, Game to Watch, I know we have some TV games out there. What do you have?
Kyle, we have 2 nationally televised games, but my game to watch this week is Mount St. Mary's at Robert Morris on Thursday. Mount has been unbeatable at home, but let's see if they can translate that home success and the momentum they've built to winning on the road against one of the NEC's best. Robert Morris just 1 game back in the standings. They'll look to hold serve at home this weekend, especially with Wagner beginning a 3-game homestand of their own. Should be a great race for the top spot in the NEC over the next few weeks. Back to TV. This Thursday, doubleheader, nationally televised games. First, 6 p.m., St. Francis U at 6-4 in the NEC host an FDU team looking to make their way up the standings. That game will be on CBS Sports Network. Once that game ends, you can get a snack, but come back at 9 p.m. on ESPNU, and we have LIU Brooklyn playing at Sacred Heart, 2 teams that can get up and down the court. Should be a fun game in Fairfield.
All right, fans, you heard it from the NEC's Ron Ratner. We have the game to watch, Mount at Robert Morris, and then the 2 nationally televised games, CBS Sports Network and ESPNU. Also, fans, don't forget you can check out all other league games live and in HD on NECFrontRow.com. For NEC Front Row, I'm Kyle Turner, and this has been NEC on the Run, talking men's basketball with the NEC's Ron Ratner. Thanks for watching.